And with that being said, we're live. People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. I hope you're all well and safe, whoever you are, wherever you are in this world. Now moving on, people, I promised to do a live stream for my members, as part of the membership package. I did promise to do it for you guys yesterday. Unfortunately, I didn't have time. I went on Hugh's show, and I'm a big person of giving you a lot of value. I want to give you good content, and more importantly, I want to back my chat. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So yeah, apologies for those of you that are probably wondering why I can't comment. The comments are reserved for live members based on, well, YouTube members based on the Q&As. I want to make sure if I miss out any questions, they have the platform. And obviously, it's not really fair if those of you that aren't members get to ask questions. It doesn't really work like that. This is the first of 3 live streams today, or better yet, this afternoon, people. In my next live stream, 10 past 3. I'll be speaking about Arteta's comments that have recently come out. So please make sure you check out the pinned message and you hit the like button on not only this video, but you open up a new tab, you set your reminder, and you hit the consequence like button and support the thing. After that, I'll be speaking about Edu around 4 o'clock. So when that one finishes, I'll give you the lowdown in the next vid. We'll speak about Edu and Edu's comments that have come out. Tomorrow, I've purposely done this, people. I'm trying a new thing where on the day I'll preview the game rather than 24 hours. Personally, I like to give you 24 hours, but tomorrow we'll review in the early hours. Well, I say early hours, significantly before we kick off at 6. We'll talk more about Arsenal and Southampton and get more in depth about Arteta's comments in relation to that. And obviously the impact of that game, not that you don't know already, we're staring down the barrel of relegation. It is a real big possibility, people. But like I said, big up the members, big up you lot that are not members, that are just here and supporting. Please make sure you hit the like button. Big up yourself, AM, as well. Let's not waste any more time, people. Like I said, big up everybody that's locked in right now. Let's get into the nuts and bolts of it, really and truly. And I'd like to apologize to a lot of you, because a lot of you have said, where's the member? Where's the Q&As? Where's the Q&As? It's because there's been a revamp, man. There's been a revamp. I know we had a good run for a good significant period of time. We was doing every Fridays and stuff, but all good things have to come to an end. Like I said, members, feel free to ask any more questions that come to your head. Please provide them in good time. But Subi has said, is there any way back for Arteta? There's always a way back, there's always a way back. At the end of the day, until we've played 38 Premier League games, sentiment can change, things can change, if you put form together, if there's a DNA, if players speak up. Notice I keep saying ifs and buts. I don't like to deal with them. I like to deal with the facts. And right now, I haven't seen anything to suggest things are going to get better, but things can change. Sentiment can change in the same way people had concerns about the man. He came in, FA Cup, all of these things. For whatever reason, we won it. There was some sort of confidence that there was a direction. And now you're seeing that it looks a bit mad. Things can change, people. At the end of the day, we've played 12 games. There's still 20 odd games to play or so, people. There's still a lot of football. Now, I'm not saying that means Arsenal are going to win the league or get top 4 or even any of that. I just hope we can get to 40 points and stay in the league. But sentiment can change, so there's always a way back. But Arteta's got to really, first and foremost, see what he's doing wrong and learn quickly from his mistakes, implement a DNA, and cut loose these players that are consistently putting you under pressure. Like I said, it's for the next live stream, but he mentioned that he feels pressure every day and he knows this job is on me. I hear that. I think you do. But when I look at it on the other hand, and I look at it as a fan, and I say, yeah, I don't think you're really feeling pressure, because you wouldn't keep playing certain individuals that are letting you down. Regardless of if we blame the Cronkays or the Edus and all and the Vinais and things, ultimately, sooner or later, if this keeps going, Arteta, you're the most disposable guy within that structure. Yeah, you've become a manager, you're not a head coach, but he's the most disposable. And ultimately, in the same way, when we won FA Cup, you got all the praise. Oh, rightly or wrongly, it's gonna fall to you, and you might lose your job. So I don't really, if I had this pressure in that I'm a new manager, I want to, jump in at the deep end. We all know the mess that this football club is in. If these players that I'm playing are not giving me what I want, I can't really proceed with them. Like we said, it's probably unlikely he'd get sacked, even if we lose our next 2 games. But you would think, going into the Burnley game, Southampton tomorrow, and obviously at the weekend, Everton, you could potentially be out of a job. So again, obviously we know things have, I'd say for fans, things have been helped with Xhaka and Bellerin now being suspended. So it's through another reason we're seeing things enforced what we want to see. So only time will tell, and it's a big if, but things can change. But people need to move on with life, really and truly. It's like, I don't get it. I don't feel Arteta feels pressure, because if not, you would say, Bellerin, I've given you your chances. Come out the team. Willian, come out the team. Xhaka, come out the team. Let me give other people. I'm not saying you must play Nelson. I'm not saying Cedric's going to be a world beater, but play these individuals that when they have had minimal opportunities, they've taken them and they've got a point to prove. Because right now, like I've said previously, our players are not playing for themselves, I want players first and foremost to play for the club, play for the fans, play for the manager, all of that stuff. But if I'm looking at it cynically, let's not be naive. It's a job. Some man don't look at it like that. So I'm looking at, you're not playing for yourselves. If you don't want to be in Arsenal, and some of you players, I'm sure, want to play for bigger teams than Arsenal and play in Champions Leagues and things, is it not in your best interest to put in a performance? So we can look around at players like, for instance, if Gabriel was on that, like, boy, Gabriel's a good player. He shouldn't be in this mess. Someone might pick him up. Tini, someone might pick him up. Saka, someone might pick him up. Do you get it, people? So there's many different reasons for you to put in a performance, and some of these individuals just aren't doing that, people. It's a joke. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Slap it up, people. And make sure you're hitting the reminder in relation to the next podcast. A man said podcast. I done a podcast earlier today. Live stream. Like M said, big up the members. Drop a like on the way in. Every like means I'm more likely to be seen by someone. In fact, you lot hit the like button so well that YouTube actually said to me, people, I'm showing up in more people's recommended, and that's a big reason as to why I've been getting more views and had a sort of decent sort of month. So I'm not just saying this for clout or saying it for free. You lot are really making a difference. That's literally how the YouTube algorithm works. It tailors videos to what it thinks you might like and might not. Every time you like it, it might go, oh, Joe Blogs likes a lot of these Arsenal vids and he keeps liking Deluded Gooners. We've got Joe Blogs, now we've got Jane Blogs. Now she likes Arsenal and like my man. So we're going to throw Deluded up there. In the same way, when someone clicks not interested, it goes against you. When you hit the like button, it helps a brother out, people. The like button is free. The best things in life are free. It don't cost nothing. So just hit the like button. Why are you not doing that, man? Come on, people. Just hit the like button. Hit it up, man. Big up yourself, Claudius. Big up yourselves. I am hella active, and I'd like to think I can keep that up, man. Keep that up, man. DG Nation are more consistent than Arsenal at the moment. Yeah. If you lot were if the players were as consistent as you lot, we wouldn't be in this mess, and I'd be in better spirits, man. I'd be in better spirits. I'm doing good, man. I got my health. I'm feeling positive, disregarding Arsenal. I'm doing fantastic, my bro. I've actually bought a new mic as well. Little exclusive for those of you that are actually giving a crap and tuning in. Got the little blue Yeti thing, and now you lot will stop being able to get onto me because, oh gosh, we can't break this because we ain't got money for the next one. But it's slightly smaller. You can't tell it, but it's slightly smaller, so it won't be as wham. It won't be filling up my. Well, it might, it might be a shake, but it won't be as wham as that. Like, I don't want to move the thing, but either way, we've got a little new mic there. So we're going to see if that sounds better and what's all of that and things like that. So thank you very much for all your support. It allows you to it allows me better yet to obviously better the product and buy these little things and see what we can do and how far we can really grow this thing and stuff, man. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. As I said, the way Edu was speaking, it seems like there's no cutoff point. You get it? There's no cutoff point. There's not, unless things become mad, then he'll get rid of it done, really and truly. Because at the same time, even though I've got question marks over Arteta, I said it before that I have to question the board, because you either is looking at it as, boom, yeah, the squad's good enough. There's an air of complacency in their minds because of the FA Cup, which is why I'm looking at you. Or did you consider that, he's not going to have a strong enough tools, but we can hide behind him, or he hasn't got a strong enough tools in his Arsenal because we didn't do enough to bring him in players. And how can we be surprised where we are? The reason, we all know January is difficult to do business, but for me, I need to see a player, because the minute it became evidently clear on deadline day that the Aura thing is dead and it's part A and that's it, that's when the work of bringing in someone in January and looking towards next year summer as well, that's when it should be done. Because I guarantee you, the amount of, all the transfers we're going to hear in the summer and maybe in January, they're being done now as we speak. People are having dinners, I's are dotted, T's are crossed. Obviously not all of them, but the bulk of them, people. When Renato Sanches signed for Bayern Munich, did he not say they were chatting when he was actually playing for his previous club? And I think Bayern Munich were in Europe. So, and this was in, I think this was in the winter period. So things happen, people. Even Xhaka, dialogue started over a year before he joined Arsenal. He said that, I'm sure he said that when he joined the club, So thank you very much for tuning in. As I said, please make sure you're hitting the like button. Moving away from this, thank you, Subi. But yeah, there is always a way back for Arteta. I didn't really give you a conclusion. So yeah, man. Let's see what else have you lot got to say. I've asked you lot on the members tab like 3 times for different questions, so I have to scroll down and whatnot. Big up M. He said, what's your feeling on our investment strategy with a lot of wages being freed up from next season? Bro, it's more of the same. Obviously, when I hear wages are being freed up and people that are not good enough are being gone and the squad is getting trimmed of the dead topics and the dead talent and whatnot, that gasses me. But at the same time, we've been with this before. It's all about if we've got a plan that we're actually trying to do. Like I said, what we're trying to do next summer, we should be looking at it from now. So again, it does give me some sort of hope that maybe something can be done. But as long as those, people that are in the boardroom and people that own the club are in this position, how excited can I really be? Yeah, there'll be free wages and there might be some transfers nipped in here and there for a couple of players, but it is what it is in that regards. I do think we need investment, like a little cash injection to bring in significant players, because we've got a double whammy. The little money we do have at this club, we've misspent it. With all due respect, Pepe's a good player. Have we got anything close? Have we got £50 million worth from Pepe, let alone 72? Let's be real, not. Have we got 52 million from Lacazette? Mustafi for 35, 40, whatever it is. Xhaka similar fee. People like Lucas Perez and that, when you add it up, 3 transfers of Willian and Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan's doing his thing for Roma, but it's irrelevant to us. So there's a serious degree of mismanagement. David Luiz, again, he's had hot and cold moments, but has he been worth them contracts? Has he been worth the weekly wages? He's Cedric and Marie. They barely played, so you can't really get at them. But, why was Cedric given a permanent deal? We all know it was allegedly with Maitland-Niles gone, and we all knew with him having 6 months left on his deal, we all knew that loan spell was going to become permanent at some point. And, Southampton probably looked at it as, let's just get a loan fee. But what do you get? It feeds into this stuff. You don't really understand the philosophy. You don't understand the thought process behind these decisions. Ultimately, it's just a bag of shortcuts. When you take the shortcuts, sometimes you have to take the long way, man. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. Bro, it's like anything, you might be the most hardworking individual, let's just say, what job? Let's just say I'm a stockbroker and I'm one of the best in whatever stocks I'm selling. I'm elite. I'm part of this elite team. We're always pushing ourselves, getting new clients, breaking new barriers. It's a wavy thing. Let's just say, cool, I feel like I've achieved everything here. Cool, I want to go somewhere else. Oh, that team, that company is looking good. You go over there and you come with that same mentality, but the company that you joined, where you thought they were a bigger level than yours and they did everything you did, but to another standard, you see they're on a joke thing. You're gonna become demotivated if you're a real winner, and you're gonna question yourself, like you've seen with some players. Eventually, subconsciously, you're gonna start moving like them. I'm not saying you want to be, slack off, but it is, you've all heard the saying, you chill with millionaires, obviously you can become one. You chill with bums, you can become one. Obviously, that doesn't mean $1 million is gonna fall in your pocket or you're gonna become misfortunate. It's when you become the product of people you hang around with, and they start to rub off on you. So that's what happens with these players. They come in, they got all the enthusiasm, and then it's not that they accept it, it's that they just get infected with this disease or failure that is with this football club. As unfortunately, man, it's crazy. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. We're reactive. Clearly, we tried to play a game of poker with Atletico all summer and said, what, we're going to get this player in Thomas Partey. Please make sure we don't have to really activate his release clause, sort of thing. And we tried that, it didn't bang, so we had to go and save face and put all their monies down for him and whatnot, man. Like you said, product of your environment, man. I don't mind 30-year-olds. I don't mind it, provided it's as fickle as this, provided they're good footballers. It's as simple as that. They've just got to be good footballers. We go after the ones that are not necessarily good football. Look at someone like Thiago Silva. Chelsea did their due diligence. He's still hungry. He wanted a new experience. You get what I'm saying? He's not known for being error prone and things like that. We're signing players that, they're full of bad mistakes. They've been through their career having bad mistakes, and we signed them to help us rebuild our defense. This tells you about the thought process and how mad we're going. The difference with Chelsea, with all due respect, they're not stupid. That they know Thiago Silva for now can help them. He can, the mentality, being a good footballer, all of these sort of things. hoping he probably rubs off his talent onto Maury and, all of these players. And they've got a young centre-half off topic called Mark Gurney. He's very decent. But they're not relying on him. We're signing Czech and we're surprised that he's not as agile as he used to be, or David Luiz is making these mistakes. The difference is Chelsea are not going to make these players central to everything. When they brought back Jogba, they brought him back and used him in a specific way. They didn't. You see what I'm saying? We don't do things like that. We sign. We don't have direction. And at the same time, at other clubs, you know what people are about. At Arsenal, it's a freestyling thing, man. Live from Planet X says, I hope you are well, bro. If you could choose 2 past players in the prime to join our Arsenal team right now, who would they be? Can't pick Henri, Bergkamp, or Vieira. Robert Perez down our left-hand side. Sol Campbell. Yeah, I'd say that. Robert Perez, Sol Campbell. Says Fabregas, of course. As much as, I know. I think Nasri would bang in this team. Nasri's everything we're crying out for. Even a young Hileb. Who else is there, man? Bro, this team, the way we're moving, they got me missing guys like Theo Walcott and Giroud. And with all due respect to Giroud, because, again, the problem with Giroud, again, using Chelsea. When Chelsea... Chelsea are not relying on Giroud. Obviously, he's showing his quality. He's making a difference. He's doing his thing, but they're not relying on him. He's not their first choice. If they had his way, it's not his first choice. We're signing Giroud, who is a good player, but isn't going to get you 20 league goals minimum over a 38-game period, and expecting him to do that. And we're doing it with Theo Walcott. Nothing's changed. We're still relying on bare hot and cold players. I wouldn't say I was blind. I just felt there was more togetherness now. I thought it finally, in a sense, clicked that, okay, cool. We're nowhere where we need to be, but this is what we need to do to get on the journey. Like you're seeing with our neighbours, Spurs. I thought, cool, we understand kind of now that it's not going to be easy, but we're going to work. So with that, as a fan, I was expecting building blocks. Cool, we're not popping off teams, but I'm seeing the thought process. Cool, we're still conceding goals, but players are recognizing the danger and pulling back in. And for a second, that was there, but like you've seen, it's quickly gone down the toilet, and old habits have come back in. And what scares me, as you lot know, old habits die hard in life and football. I can't stop sliding in the box. I can't stop sliding on Sunday League. David Luiz can't stop doing what he's doing. Dennis, Luis Suarez just about stopped biting people. So again, habits die hard. And when you've got a team or a collective that are hot and cold, that are mentally fragile, that are mentally never prepared, and the things I just previously said, it's a dangerous cocktail. It's a very dangerous cocktail. It's a cocktail I don't want to drink. Probably stronger than rum. I don't want none of it, man. It's a bit of a madness. Ched, big up yourself, Ched. You've said Chelsea brought in 6 key first team additions. Keeper, 2 defenders, winger, playmaker, forward, and changed their game. What fantasy changes could be done in January so Arteta could do his job properly? Content is on point, by the way, DG. Big up yourself, Ched. I really appreciate you and all the other members and people who are not members that are tuned in. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Fantasy, I guess this means make-believe. So again, me personally, I've been saying this. I would like to look at a striker. I've got question marks over Lacazette. I like Lacazette, but can we get in another striker? I would look for a striker. I would like a winger. Let's marginalize Willian and actually bring in, our wingers were congested anyway. So I thought if we're going to bring in a winger, let's bring in someone that is better than, man. Do you get it? Willian is not better. He's not evidently better than Pepe. He's not even, I'd rather give the young players chances. So I would say a winger. I'd explore left back because, if Tierney gets injured, we're exploring Saka and Maitland-Niles. Again, you want Saka playing on the flanks, ideally, even though he could have a future as that. You either want Maitland-Niles playing right back or central midfield. I don't personally believe in Kolasinac, so there's that. On that, if Maitland-Niles isn't going to be given an opportunity, or Cedric, I'd love to bring in a right back. Bellerin's been given a free run at that side for many a year now and has not made it its own. Like when we think of Arsenal Football Club, Bellerin should be one of the first names I think of. And I'm not saying this to scapegoat him. It's not. When I think of Arsenal Football Club, I think of Bukayo Saka, Thomas Partey, Gabriel, Kieran Tierney, Martinelli, these sort of man there, even a little Leno and that. And even though Aubameyang still got credit in the bank based on his past glories, but we all know the Aubameyang that's been here this season is not levels, but you get the point. I'm not speaking about other man. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I'd say that, man. I'd say both address a backup left back, first choice right back, without a doubt, central midfield. I think we need 2 central midfielders. So we're touching about 4 signings, which again really is fantasy January. I would implore looking at a winger and a striker. So there's about 7 signings I would like to make. So again, you did say fantasy, my brother. Hopefully, I've given you that. Georgia said, just reporting, I don't feel you need to be creating even more content on top of all you do already. You put out more than enough content to warrant the membership. To me, hey, George, big up yourself and big up all the Americans locked in as well. Jay has said, what has gone wrong at Arsenal at the moment? Do you think Arteta's job is still on the line, and do we have a chance of finishing in the top half of the table? Like I said, to answer a previous question, you get your act together, the sky's the limit, but you've got to believe, you've got to display consistency, you've got to put in the hard yards, you've got to accept your failings and move forward, you've got to be very self-aware. There's several components on the field, off the field, and mentally that I don't see in this club to say these sort of things. As I said earlier, there's a ridiculous amount of points to still be played for, so never give up. But boy, and what's gone wrong? An air of complacency, mismanagement for years, and an air of complacency looking at Arteta as the messiah because he's been here for a few months. And now, the honeymoon period's out and you're seeing these players are a bunch of pretenders. You're seeing the manager struggling. And overall, you've got an owner that doesn't care and you've got an incompetent board. So that's what's gone wrong, really. As much as I feel Arteta should have pressure on his job and stuff, really and truly, the warning signs have been there. So make of that what you will, my G. One has said, what tactics do you think Arteta should be deploying to get the most out of our front three? Whatever is there in terms of movement. Whatever training you've got to do to get them front three moving, that as well. And also your centre mids. Your centre mids have to want to look up and play these players. So just be on the front foot more, man. It's crazy. Man are saying Willian needs more time like he's one. Bro, forget all of that. Because what were they saying? Premier League proven, ready to hit the ground running. The fact is, Willian's just not a good player. Like, Willian will come. There'll be a part in this season. Someone clip this up. There will be a part in this season where Willian has a rich front of form. I'm not saying he's going to score mad goals or mad assists. You're going to see other YouTubers. Hell, it might even be me too. Where Willian's having his dedicated videos. There's going to be that. Or we might have to wait 2 years or so for Willian, because when his contract runs down, he starts playing like a true winger and things like that. So who knows, man? I'd say that, listen, 1-1, Arteta's just got to be on the front foot. He's just got to be on the front foot. You've said, what is Arteta doing wrong? I just don't think he's learning from mistakes. Ultimately, without getting into depth, I don't think he's learning from mistakes. If I'm a manager and there's pressure and certain players are not taking their chances, I'm not saying first bad game you have to click, man, but when man are being given evident chances and we've won, lost or drawn, I don't see too much of a difference in their performance, then I'm looking at you to be moved on. So I'd say that. You've also said, how many points do you think we should be getting from our next 5 games and how many do you think we get? We've obviously played Burnley, so I'm just going to assume, I don't know who's next, but, we've got Southampton, Everton, Chelsea, Brighton, and I believe West Brom after that. So that's what, 3, 6, 9, 12, what, about 15 points? I don't know, man. I'd say I want to say 4. I want to say 3, but I don't know if you're going to beat. I don't know, my guy, Carl. I don't know. Brighton away scares me. Southampton home and away scares me. Everton at Goodison Park, I can't lie, I don't fancy it with Calvert-Lewin and that. Chelsea at home, I don't mind playing against Chelsea, but we come up short if it's not in the league. Like, we'll play well for, like last year, play well for a significant period of time, 15 minutes from the end, you're going to mess it up. So, ironically, I'm the most easy about playing Chelsea. Not that I'm underestimating Chelsea, trying to disrespect Chelsea. It's just, I don't know, man. It's like them other teams there. It's like with Chelsea, it's almost like, all right, cool. With the Evertons and Southamptons and Brightons, with respect, it's like, wow, like, how can you not be up for games like this? It's crazy, man. Sky to Rush, big up yourself. How much do you think major injuries has stopped or regressed players' progress to the point where they were in good form or where they were performing? Players like Chambers, Holding, Bellerin, Wilshere to where they are now, sluggish and poor. Boy, injuries can take it out, man. Injuries can take it out of, man. It depends, because some man will have one big injury in their career and then that's it. Or some man just keep getting the knock-on effects. It all depends what the knock-on effects of a major injury are. You also, as a result, Jack Wilshere had to have little things going on. You know, Holding, I think, Holding's a different one because he's not really levels like that, but he seems to be back. I don't know if it's the injury. I don't know if it's how Bellerin's lifestyle changes. I don't know if it's certain training or lack of, but Bellerin, again, I'm no medical man, so I guess the injuries had some point, but he don't look quick, he don't look dynamic, he don't look strong enough, he's regressed in all of them. So again, that might be a major case. So I'd say maybe, yeah, it does play, it clearly plays a major part, really, but it all depends on the complications or the knock-on effects when you're working your way back to full fitness, in my humble opinion. Let me try to find some other questions, people. I'm pretty sure I'm missing some out. Apologies. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Of course, people, please make sure you're hitting that like button. It does not cost a thing to do that. And that's why I can't find it, because I'm scrolling the wrong way. Bro, like you said, if we get 5, that's a miracle. Right now, I can't be doing all them predictions. I don't know what we're gonna get. I really don't know, man. Arsenal's not showing me anything to really say anything confidently and whatnot, man. It's quite crazy, man. It's a mazzoline, man. I think I've answered everyone's questions, to be fair with you. That was that one. Let me scroll down. Big up all the members, people. I really appreciate you guys. What's this one saying? Oh, I have not thought it was done. But yeah, Emma's again said, big up yourself, Em, man. I really appreciate you holding it down for the Northwest London Tugs. Anyways, you said, would you go for another keeper or only stuck with Leno because he's name brand? You know what, with Leno, yeah, I think it's a thing where there's more problems with Leno. I mean, there's more problems than Leno at this club. Like, I do think, and again, I don't like this if word, but if the midfield, the defense, the strikers, everything was moving tactically what we want to see, and technically we were seeing everything we want to see on the football pitch, then personally, I think you can get away with a Leno in the team. I do think he'd show his levels, but by the same topic of that, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. If the team reflected that everything that us fans want to see in the side, I'm not gonna lie. Leno would be a position I'm looking at. I don't think he's a bad keeper, but he does a numerous amount of questionable stuff. I don't think his handling is good enough. I actually think he's a good shot stopper, but I think he's mad overrated, because there's no point being a good shot stopper if you're gonna save a shot and palm it back in. Leno has had big games, but still, man, he's not really. I think his shot stopping is overstated, not really overrated. I don't think he breeds any sort of confidence to the team. He's a bit too eccentric for me. I don't really like the sweeper keeper thing. I think he's a bit too overconfident in his abilities. I think his distribution is very so-so. Collecting from crosses is very nervy. So, yeah, man, I don't think Leno's a bad keeper. There's been many games he's helped us out and whatnot, so I won't get on him, man. And a lot of people are saying that, and I was saying the same thing, but at the same time, I was saying, you know what, it's not that deep for me. This season will show something, and I think Martinez is showing that. Again, Arteta made his bed, because I do think if Martinez was shown that genuinely I'm going to have a chance to be number one, then I'll fight. But I think it was made abundantly clear, that Leno is playing in the league games when fit, if fit, and you saw in a couple of opening Europa League games he's starting, and you'd imagine Leno plays against, they wouldn't even, if it was by this logic, would there be too many opportunities for Martinez? Because we're about to play a Community Shield quarterfinal, a Manchester Community Shield, Yarabel Cup quarterfinal or whatever against City. Is he going to go with Martinez, or would he go with Leno in that competition? The Europa League, as I just said, Leno would have played in it. I don't know for the FA Cup. We've got Newcastle. I'd assume if you're playing in the group stage of the Europa League, if you're starting Leno, then he'd start in a game like this. So whether I rate Leno or rate Martinez or whatever, it probably would have been a bit booky and whatnot. Big up everyone locked in on Twitch as well. Please make sure you're subscribed on the Twitch, Deluded Guna 187. Please check out the descriptions. You can follow me across all my socials. Make sure you check them out. Live from Planet X has said, at what point, DG, would you personally want Arteta 100% out? I know where you're currently standing, but what is your current breaking point? Me, the longer I don't see a system, like I said, man, I'm more onto the players and the board, because Arteta's been set up to fail. That doesn't mean he hasn't had question marks. That hasn't mean he hasn't done questionable things, but I'm more onto him. But ultimately, it's got to fall with the manager. Depending on how it goes towards the end of the year and coming out of the new year, I'd say it could be earlier. I would say initially I'm giving to the end of the season before I either double down on him needing to leave or double down on him staying. Boy, it could be at end of the early 2021 thing. Really, it's difficult to put a time on it, but it's the longer I'm going to give a couple of more periods to see if there's a reaction and to see if we're actually going to put a DNA. If I don't see a reaction, if I don't see any fight, if I don't see any system, early January, the earliest, then for me, then I've probably got to look at that, because again, I know he ain't got good enough players, but he should be getting more out of a tune. You can't tell. Well, I know you're not, but nobody can sit here and say, it's the players' fault why we're struggling to score goals. Of course it is. They need to fix up, but at the same time, it's no coincidence where we are for shots, for goals, for all of these things. There's a direct consequence of what Arteta is doing on the coaching front. So we'll have to see. Big up all the members. Thank you very much for tuning in, people. I really rate all the members. Come on, let's try and get to 250 likes. I'm not too sure where we are for likes at the moment. We're on 93. You lot are violating. Come on, man. You lot are doing me dirty. Don't forget, people, to check out the pinned tweet. We go again at 10:03. We get more into Arsenal news and things like that. Bro, I don't really like Ronison. I'm not gonna lie. Again, whenever he plays, he has it. But I'm sure you lot that are tuned into me, you've seen me. I've been saying, yo, this keeper's looking a bit dodgy. And every game he's played, I've not been convinced again. I really don't. And that one there is concerning for me, because he's meant to come recommended by a goalkeeping coach. So if the goalkeeping coach thinks this guy is messed, what are we doing in goalkeeping training? It's a bit concerning. So we'll have to see. Georgia said, would you start Cedric or Maitland-Niles over Bellerin henceforth in the league? Of course. That was a week ago you asked that question. But yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Without a doubt. Yeah, both of them. If Maitland gets thrown in, don't take your chances. Keep it moving. Cedric, don't take your chances. Keep it moving. I'd like to actually just buy a new right back, full stop. I don't mind Maitland-Niles being able to play in the flanks, being a midfielder. He's got some qualities to be used in the squad. I don't mind Cedric doing up the backup thing, but at the same time, I want to see consistently in the same way. We don't think about left back because Tini is there now. I don't want to keep speaking about this thing, people. It really annoys me, man. It really annoys me. I've got a super chat. Thank you very much for that, my guy. I will back Arteta, but he needs to drop out the out of form players. Do you really think this club will hire a top manager, Poch, Allegri? But hey, I don't think you can get the Allegris and these sort of man, because again, why are you going to sign for Arsenal? You're not going to be given proper wages and proper transfer fee to go and get what you need to plug the gaps in this team. Why am I going to Allegri? Why would I come here and the board would say something like, you got to take the blame for Ozil? You think I'm going to set up with that? Forget all of that. It's dead, man. It's dead. Claudius has said, what possible tactical changes can Arteta make to turn things around? Seems like he's lost on the position front. Difficult and very easy for us fans to say. Personally, I would have, at least for the Spurs, Wolves, and I'm missing someone else out. Spurs, Wolves. Then there's a next game there as well in these defeats. I would have went with a back three personally, but I'd say go to a 4. Play players with a point to prove, and actually, it's not a position. I don't think it's a formation thing. I just think there's no movement, there's no attackers. We've changed to 4 at the back, and the same problems are still there. There's teams that will play 5 at the back and have played 3-5 at the back and play better football than us. It's down to the tactics and the muscle memory and the 1-2s, and they're showing little dribs and drabs. They've got it, so I think it's a psychological thing with our players. But at the same time, Arteta needs to bang that out, man. It needs to, man. It needs to. Johan said, do you think Arteta gets sacked if we fail to qualify for Europe next season? Based on the way they're backing him, I'd say no. But if you fail to not even get Europa League in any substance from a full season, you have to, because at least, Wenger, we went out the Champions League and we don't want to be in that, but we're still in Europe. Emery was still in Europe. Arteta, I'm looking at you this year in the Europa League, because I feel as much as the players, and mainly in that second leg, in fact, I'm really angry with the players over the 2 legs last year for us going out. I think Arteta showed his inexperience, and I want to see if you learn your lessons from that. Pardon me. So we'll have to see. Skyt has come back and said, which players do you want to see start in the next couple of games, and which players deserve to have starting positions from now on and onwards in the Prem? Well, I think Reece Nelson deserves an opportunity. I think Pepe, when he comes back, deserves an opportunity. Anyone that plays as a winger that's in that first team environment that is not Willian, I think they deserve an opportunity, because the man is not taking the opportunities. As simple as that. I would like to see Maitland-Niles or Cedric play at right back. Equally, I would like to see Maitland-Niles being given an opportunity in midfield if we're not going to bring one in. Simple as that, really. The ones that, the Xhakas, the Williams, the Bellerins, you understand these are the ones I don't really want in the team. The rest are very hot and cold, and it's very much the best of a bad bunch at this football club at the moment. But next couple of games, mainly a couple young players, and I'd like to see people like Cedric given an opportunity. Not to say I think he's amazing, but I'm not a fan of people just getting opportunities if they're not going to do their job. Antonio said, if you would sign a right back, who would you sign besides Tariq Lamptey? Good question. Put me on the spot, really. Off the top of my head, my mind has gone blank. I'm trying to think. James Justin of Leicester, even though that can't happen, I think he's a very decent fullback, and I really like the look of him. I'd say him. Really liked what I saw from him at Luton. One has said, is Arteta not even putting Saliba in for some indication gives, sorry people, is Arteta not even putting Saliba in for some of the Europa League games an indication of how little he rates him? I'd say yes to a degree. I'd say no because we don't know everything. I'd say yes because you'd imagine, based on the last, he must have considered, he wanted to have a perfect record and start the Europa League well, so there could have been opportunities for him. So I'd have to say yes. I do think personally Arteta has gambled for experience, really, when you look at who is actually used and who still gets spaces and whatnot. You've also said, given how badly things are going, is it wise to give Arteta money in January when he could be sacked? Well, I think the club need to just buy players regardless. Like, the managers clearly are disposable. We know we need a creative man. If you go and sign a creative man in his early 20s, you've got someone here for the next managers and managers beyond. So I would say that personally. What's your greatest achievement on Football Manager? Winning the Champions League with Arsenal, winning the World Cup with England, retaining the Premier League 3 times in a row, going unbeaten in, what was it? Was it Football Manager 15? I went a whole season unbeaten. I'm not going to cap. I can't do that now. It just doesn't happen. I'm one of them, man. There, I'll start playing random young players away to Sheffield United and we'll get smacked 4-0 and it's just a head loss. Subia said, do you genuinely fear the worst for Arsenal, like relegation? I still believe there's time to turn it around, but the fixture list doesn't get easier and the way we played doesn't suggest so. You said it there. You answered your own question, Subi, man. You have to fear the worst because these keep happening, and until the club and the players show me anything different, I can't say anything. I can't say anything. It's a bit crazy. It's a bit crazy, man. Adrian Jacobs, big up yourself. Why do you think that so many fans have lost patience with the process and most are looking for a replacement? Because to a degree, I'm not going to say it goes far as to say Arteta is a scapegoat, because he's not. Ultimately, the manager lives or dies by it. And you take all the good, you have to take all the praise. We know in football there's no balance. Arteta's the Messiah, or he shouldn't even be running a chippy. That's how incompetent some man look at him. People lack balance. I would say why fans are looking at the process is because Arteta, rightly or wrongly, he's at the forefront. Fans, we all say it's the Cronkies, we know it's the Eddies, but who do you see on a match day? Who do you see on Sky Sports doing the hand signs? Who do you see talking? He is the fall guy. He is the most disposable, So we all know it's different managers. It's all going to be the same because of who owns this club and whatnot. But that's what I'd say, and I'd say there's not a clear process to trust. I think if Arteta was showing us a system and stuff, it'd be a thing where we could look at the board and say, yo, you're not helping him. Now we're saying the board clearly haven't helped him. Arteta looks out of his depth and Kroenke just doesn't give a crap about this football club. Do you get it? So that's what I would say. Now that's ended those questions, people. So let's get a couple questions in, people, now that we're done with this thing before I get out of here. Big up yourself, AM. Thoughts on the change room bus stops, and do you feel players are down in tools? I never like this down in tools chat, because down in tools is me saying, F you, man. I'm playing well so I can get out of this club. I never understood it. I just think I don't think it's down in tools. I just think people are sharing their personalities. When, as you know in life, when it's time to be tough, you see what people are made of. And I think players are just hiding behind people. There's a lot of cowards in that dressing rooms. I'm hearing a lot of fights and bust ups in training and things. I don't see that fight, grit and determination on a Sunday. And when it is, people are doing dumb stuff and getting red cards 10 minutes into the second half. So it's jarring. It's just jarring. I'm tired of hearing fighting and we got to fight. We got to do this. Just show me across 90 minutes that you're fighting. Because I didn't see fight against Burnley. I didn't see fight against Spurs, against Leicester, against Wolves, against Villa. Even the draw with Leeds was good, but we were looking like wounded animals, and they just couldn't finish their dinner, specifically Patrick Bamford. So, yeah, man, make of that what you will. I've already answered that. Apologies. No more questions from the members. No more questions from the members. If there's none, I'm going to lock this off because I've got another live stream and I'd rather, prepare for that properly. So, I'm going to give it 30 seconds. If there's no more questions, we're going to keep it moving. Big up the people locked in. You know, we've had playbacks of 1,000. We've had 145 concurrent viewers. People, it means the world. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Please make sure you've set your reminders and you've hit the like button on the next live stream as we get more into business with what's happening at Arsenal. Specifically, first and foremost, Arteta. And then, you know, at around 4 o'clock, we'll speak about the Edu comments. So yeah, man, it don't seem like there's any more questions. So I'm gonna keep it moving, man. People, it's been a lovely Q&A. If you want your questions answered and whatnot, then obviously just become a member. It's not rocket science. Big up all the members. Your contributions are always thanked and appreciated. Yeah, man. Please make sure you're all there in terms of the next live stream. Please make sure you hit the like button on this video and that and the button on that video. And I'll be back here again soon, people. Make sure you check out my latest upload as well. I looked at Arsenal versus Burnley from a tactical point of view, and I think, cheeky plug, there's 20 minutes. You know, it's 20 minutes. You've got enough time to watch that and prepare yourself for the next live stream. So I'm out, man. Hopefully I've given you lots of decent content, but yeah, man, I'm out. I'll let you lot know when this is back. As you lot know, we got 2 Q&As. Members, you know, the random show is back, so please get your random topics in. They can reflect football. They can be nothing to do with football. I've told you lot, simply put, you give me a bunch of topics, I'm going to dash them into a cup, and we're going to talk about them live. It could be Arteta, should he get sacked? It could be when was the first time you ate a mango? It could be anything, people. But I've loved being here with you lot. Like I said, man, please make sure you're at the next live stream. For now, DG.